Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the Transformation Boost Super Battle Road stage and how you can beat it with no items. So pretty straightforward, I want to say. I don't think this is a surprise to anyone, but running a Wicked Bloodlines team gets you pretty decent content done. Yeah, Cooler is a great lead and a great unit, and he leads a fantastic team. I tried to do a couple of things a bit different here, just because I wanted to see how things would go. So I have units like Second Form Freezer, not a great decision at all. Broly was a good one, but Second Form Freezer was an absolute train wreck. Set us very, very, very far back with how much damage he could take. I was pretty surprised with how hard some of these units hit for an SBR. I know it's we're starting to get closer to current SBR, and I should expect it to go up. But I was surprised at how hard the enemies in the Transformation Boost Super Battle Road actually hit, because it's still quite an old Super Battle Road. Now in terms of lead, we've gone with the Strength Cooler, just a great unit. A fantastic support in multiple situations. He stacks attack and defense. He fires a whole bunch of attacks depending on the debuffs to the enemy, and he debuffs the enemy, so there's just like a lot going on that he basically helps us to do. And having two of him is really, really good. You can have one of him and have double LR coolers, whatever suits you. I think it's fine to go with whichever. Just depends on how you feel. I went with two because I was looking at running things like Second Form Freezer and Broly, and I thought having the extra support would be good. Second Form Freezer I would just remove. He's a good unit, but for a no item run, maybe not the right one. He can still do some really good AoE damage, but it just wasn't really necessary. We were basically eliminating one unit with every single attack that we did, so it just wasn't really worth it, I want to say. But he was still, quite fun. The big thing in terms of, performance is obviously, to cut a long story short, attack lowering. So we have multiple units that can attack lower, which is really, really big. We have, for example, Strength Cooler. We have Strength LR Cooler, who also attack lowers, quite a lot. Like quite big time. He lowers their attack. Strength Transforming Cooler lowers their attack as well. So we're just constantly lowering the enemy's attack, which was pretty clutch. It was pretty important. It also triggered a whole bunch of passes for our team, which was also important. It fully triggered Strength Transforming Cooler's passive. The couple of super attacks we did take were a bit unlucky because they pushed us close to that threshold where we didn't really want to take too much damage because of how much we depend on health thresholds for AGL and Tech Golden Freezer, who, if you guys don't know, obviously AGL Golden Freezer has 90% damage reduction while we're above 40% health, whereas Tech Golden Freezer has 80% above 50 and then 50% I believe while below 50% health. So at least his doesn't go away, but still it would lead to him actually taking damage, which is it's bad, especially when you're that low. You kind of don't want to take damage. So it was a little bit bad, but I mean, that happens sometimes. Fortunately we got through it, but it is one of those things. So generally speaking though, the fights were pretty straightforward. Leave one of the golden freezers in each of the first slots. Leave whichever cooler you want that's doing huge damage in the second slot. Eliminate a unit and rinse and repeat. Considered putting Broly there, but Broly's great. He does great AoE damage, but a lot of the fights were against two or one enemy, so Broly's AoE damage wasn't as helpful as I kind of wanted it to be. Obviously the big scare was fighting the Strength Gohan. Now Strength Gohan we can actually handle pretty well between the amount of attack lowering we have. So between the two Strength Coolers and the Strength LR Cooler, you have a lot of attack lowering, and this would make things generally speaking quite okay in terms of like handling the situation. Obviously the big thing is making sure you don't get hit by too much damage beforehand, but luckily we were a-okay in the fact that he supered AGL Golden Freezer, and at that point we were like fine. realistically to kind of just proceed with everything. Like, it really wasn't that bad. But you can see we take some serious damage. And so physical second form Frieza is just not a unit that I want to bring, basically. He just does not seem to do a fantastic job. Now Broly does a pretty good job. I think Broly was really good. Maybe I'll cater to Broly a bit more in the ESPR when we get there. Because Broly was really solid. Like, Broly did some good damage, had great defense after Super, and just generally speaking was a menace the whole way through. Obviously we'll drop second form Frieza for someone maybe a bit more malleable to linking with Broly to make things work out. But yeah, in general, honestly, it was fine. It was probably took me a bit by surprise with how hard it was, but once the team got rolling, we were basically scot-free. Like, we were basically sitting in a very good position overall, you know? So pretty good stuff. In reality, I think we sit in like a good space for transformation boost, but they do take a little bit of time to build up, so you have to be a bit careful with where you place them in things like SBR and ESBR, because that build up time can cost you if you get caught by an untimely super attack, like a super attack in the wrong zone or something. But for me, overall, I was still happy with the team's performance. I wasn't too upset, or it wasn't too challenging. It was maybe the fight that took me the most by surprise, but in general we did fine. Once we could get the attack down on good old Gohan, we were generally sitting in a pretty good space as well. And then we just transformed Cooler to help finish things off, and yeah, in general it was just a really solid time. But beyond that, everything was fine. We, if you want to make changes or run this team, you can. I would suggest replacing second form Frieza, but beyond that, I think the rest of the team worked fine. Maybe bring double LR coolers could be a good choice. Having 2 strength coolers, I didn't feel it too much. It didn't really seem to help me out. I think having 2 of the LR version would have maybe just been a bit better overall. But yeah, generally speaking, it was a pretty chilled run. Things went relatively smooth and didn't have any major issues. But that's it from me. Let me know what you guys think, or if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, take care, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you guys next time. But until then, bye.